Hey, welcome back to Techopolis 3, where in the last video, we set up the last significant infrastructure to prepare for final Technium. And if all goes to plan, I might have one by the end of the video. I don't know. I've been doing a lot more work on it on my own, mostly just setting things in the requester, and then waiting for a long time. That's been the vast majority of the stuff here, is just a lot of waiting. Like, I think, barring a couple crashes and a Windows update, I've left the game running for about a week straight, and the time in a bottle proves that. So, this has taken a really long time. But I now have a pretty significant backlog of most things, and hopefully enough for a final Technium ingot. I guess we'll see. So I may as well just get started here. And most of this is hinging on all the different singularities, so I may as well do that first, because even if I've got everything I need, it's still going to take a long time to craft. So I'm just going to create a recipe using every singularity, and I can probably just stick it into this ultimate crafting table. Yeah. Although I think instead of a hopper, I'll have it go into a chest, because I'm pretty sure that still works. And then, I've got 8 Technium singularities. That's the only one I don't have a recipe for. So I'll just set 8 ultimate singularities to go. And for the most part, I have what I need, or I can craft more. I need a bit of obsidian and a bit of osmium, but that's not too hard. I make plenty of osmium over here, and that's probably enough. Same with the obsidian, although I don't have quite so much of a backlog of that. So there we go. Now I can set this going, but I've run out of crafting CPUs. I guess this is a pretty big recipe, so I'll do it this way instead. I'll stock 8 and just make one at a time. And that does seem to be working. So then, hopefully by the time I get through the rest of this, I'll have 8 ultimate singularities. I guess I'll see where I can go from there. So, what else do I need for this? I guess, skipping past all the stuff with the ultimate ingots, I need the final Technium machine, but I can't make the control block yet. Maybe I can make the multi-block itself? Oof, that's not as much as I thought, but still pretty expensive. But I think I can manage that. Well, I'll just work down the line, starting with 12-dimensional detectors. So that's just 12 quantum entangled porters, and a bunch of brass. Next on the list, machine circuitry, but I may as well do all the reinforced machine casings, so that's 105. That's doable, and I'll convert them into the circuitry when I've got the casings. But the main thing here is all of the Technium machine frames, and I need so much more than I did for the Technium compressor. But I can just continue working down the line. I need 36 basic. That's more expensive than I thought it would be, but doable. Then 13 advanced. That's much easier. Then 20 elite. I already have 1, so 19. Also, not that bad. 21 ultimate, which surprisingly I have what I need for. 13 hellish. I've already got 4, so that's another 9. That's not that much at all, really. 9 Luna. I've probably made about 30 of these on my own to just speed up various machines, so another 9 is nothing. And then last, 5 End Technium. I've already got 1, but that 1 is for other things. Although I don't have a recipe for End Technium, so I might just have to do it myself. I mostly just need to wait for the gears, and then it's pretty easy. Although, because so many other things are just waiting on the gears, I've got a lot of the other Techniums already. I guess I just need to speed up the press a bit more. But eventually, I can get everything that I need, and that's the whole structure for the final Technium machine. Okay then. I was expecting that to be a bit worse, but I guess I have been stockpiling Techniums for ages now, and that's basically all I need. Although it seems like in that time, 1 ultimate singularity has gone through, but it's not going to get crafted because it doesn't have a recipe saved. Oh, wait, I think something's gone wrong here, And the eyes have gone through without the singularities. Okay, hang on. Well, there's all the singularity quests completed. I need to reset this so that it makes the eyes again. I guess that's enough proof that the chest will put the items in. So I've just got to wait for it to make the eyes again, and I can fix this. But the eyes are made significantly quicker than the singularities. So then I just need to put this all onto the table, quickly save the recipe, and it should work. Right, now it's just straight into making the next one. Okay. So I should be fine to just leave this to make the rest. Well then, if I have everything I need for the Technium machine, why not get the rest of the things I need for the Technium itself? Because there's still plenty to do on that behalf. And I've looked into this ahead of time, and just as far as what I need this for, I should only need 3 Technium ingots. I'll get into why later, but for now, I'll just keep that in mind, and I'll make enough for 3 Technium ingots. Starting with the turbine coil, because I've got plenty of spare lunar turbine coils, and plenty of spare Technium nuggets, so I can make a bunch of these, no problem. Then, similarly, the double crates of nether stars. I thought I already had a ton of these? Where did my nether stars go? I don't know, I've got enough in storage to get 2 double crates? Oh, and if I convert the rest of the nether stars, yeah, that's plenty. I guess I can put this back in the storage? Something else might draw out of it. I'm not sure why I ran out. I had a lot more earlier. I have enough nether stars to move on, so I will. Well then, next, end Technium ingot. Do I really need to bring this up? So then, ignoring the ultimate stuff, there's 2 more items left. And both of these are a bit of a problem. Gigatronium just needs an insane amount of all of the compressed stuff out of the miners. And even though I've been upgrading the storage on this to try to fill these up along the way, that's still not enough. I need 3 billion of everything. And even if I was to speed these up with the time in a bottle, I'd still be here for days. I have just realized they're all on elite machine frames. I probably could have put them on something better, but that's beside the point. This isn't a viable solution. What is a viable solution is making all of the infinity cells, because that only needs quintuple compressed, and that is significantly easier. I have way more than I need to get all of the quintuple compressed. But of course, to make any of these infinity cells, I need an infinity storage component, and they're not exactly cheap. That's 8 per cell. So I need 40 256k storage components. That's a lot of stuff. But I guess I can just speed everything up a lot, and maybe that's all I need to do. Especially if I put a spare machine frame in there. Okay, that's finally enough. It's gonna take a pretty long time to craft though, so I'll just leave it be and get back to it later. So then the last item for me to worry about is this end Easter egg. And that probably has something to do with this tree that I haven't touched ever. And maybe there's something in the Giga Compressed? Oh yeah, it's literally asking me to get the infinity cells. Okay, what about the Easter eggs? I need cocoa beans? Okay, I may as well get plenty of them. I've got a lot of tech bucks to spare. Then I need to turn this into chocolate. Something tells me I need a lot of this. Let me see, the end Easter egg needs 2 lunar eggs, which themselves need 2 hellish, 2 ultimate, 2 elite, 2 advanced, 2 basic, 2 simple, 2 shells, which is chocolate in the bottling machine. Okay, I need a lot of chocolate then, but that's just cocoa beans, sugar, and milk. I might be able to do this manually. Hang on, do I have a mixer machine? No. I have one in the end, but there's no way I'm hijacking this. So I guess I just need to make a mixer. Before I get too carried away, I will set these cocoa beans going in a cloche. Anyway, mixer. I've made all this stuff plenty of times before, I don't really need to go over it again. Then the mixer itself, I'll just stick in this corner. It's not too hard to move it if I need to, but if I'm mostly using it manually, it shouldn't really matter. So the chocolate needs milk, sugar, and cocoa beans. How much? Oh, I've got plenty of sugar. And it's used evenly with the cocoa beans, and then it seems like the milk is converted 1-to-1. I don't think I'll need more than about 4 stacks of sugar, but who knows? Maybe I've miscalculated, but I can get the cocoa beans pretty easily, so then it's just about the milk. And I've got a lot of milk, so this shouldn't really be a problem. And yep, it's converting all of it into chocolate pretty well. I will just add an output tank here. And I guess this is where I can probably calculate how much chocolate I even need. I need 3 end Easter eggs. So 6 Lunar, 12 Hellish, 24 Ultimate, 48 Elite, stack and a half of Advanced, 3 stacks of Basic, 6 stacks of Simple, 12 stacks of the shells, and each shell is half a bucket of chocolate. So, that's about 400 buckets of chocolate? That's almost 2 ultimate fluid tanks. I'm gonna want to do this a bit differently then. I'm not bucketing this over anymore. I'm just swapping the tank directly. But then comes the problem. I've probably got enough sugar. Don't know about cocoa beans. But it's just a case of speeding this up as much as I can and stealing the output. And if I see the conversion rate here, working with stacks makes this a bit easier. I need 6 stacks of buckets. 1 stack needs 4 items. No, 1 bucket needs 4 items, so 4 stacks makes 1 stack of buckets. So 24 stacks of each item. This is the 8th stack. So I need quite a lot more cocoa beans. But that's what the time in a bottle is for. So eventually I can put enough through to fill 1 tank worth of chocolate. I still need more than this, but I should start converting it. And I do that over here. It does currently have creosote oil in there. I'm not sure how to get it out, so I'm just gonna break the machine. There we go, now it's full of chocolate. And I need to make the Easter egg mold. Oh, so just an egg and black bricks. I do need to get an egg though. There's gotta be a chicken around here somewhere. But none close enough to the base to have laid any eggs by now. And I'd rather not wait around for 2.5 minutes. So I'll just buy one instead. I only need the 1. So there's the egg mold. And now I can start making the egg shells. But this is very slow going. So I'm gonna have to do something to make this move a bit more automatically. I wonder if this is all I need to do. I hope I don't have to bother with filters and things, because both get picked up. Oh, yep, it does seem to be putting it back. So yeah, I think that's all I need. I will just try to speed it up though. But there's only so much I can do about it. Well, I'm just gonna have to leave this to make all the eggshells. And it looks like I've got all the chocolate. Why is it missing a millibucket? I don't know. I'll make one more just to be sure. But it's gonna take a little while to go through this tank, let alone any extra. Yeah, but I guess I can still just connect it in. So I'm just gonna leave that to go. And how much did I need? 12 stacks of shells? I should have the storage space for that. And as far as all the Technium and stuff is concerned, I should have enough. The only one I'm really concerned about is Ultimate and Elite. Oh, but I've got plenty in reserve, so I think I'll be fine. I'll still just make recipes for this, because I really don't want to have to manage all of these nuggets. And I guess this will confirm if I got my maths right or not. 768 shells. Yep, 12 stacks. Well then, the Easter egg is on the back burner, just like the Gigatronium. So what about the other stuff that I need here? Power and temperature, that's not a big deal at all. Ultimate gas, I need 96 buckets per ingot. That's Dragon's Breath and Antimatter. That's not that bad. I just need to make a chemical infuser and send in the Antimatter and Dragon's Breath. Okay. I don't think it really matters where I set this up. I'm still doing pretty much everything manually anyway. I just need to put a bunch of antimatter in. Then the dragon's breath I can just steal from the end. And then if I just stick it in, that's making a lot of ultimate gas for me. Probably enough that I can just stick it in a chemical tank and be done. So then without too much extra effort, I can get all the ultimate gas that I'll need. I guess I can just leave this here. Well then, the only thing I haven't covered yet is liquid matter. And that is interesting. I just need unstable matter and a fluidizer? That sounds too easy. I need 374 buckets. I get 16 at a time, so that's 24 unstable matter in fluidizer. I could probably just steal the current one and just get enough tanks. I've got plenty of unstable matter, so if I just briefly turn this off, I'm gonna need to get rid of this molten mob essence. I guess I can probably just spend it all in a Technium machine. Okay, there we go. Fluidizer is empty. So I now just convert the unstable matter into liquid matter and just store it in a tank. Okay, that's that. I'll put the storage bus back and fix this up to start making molten mob essence again. Right, well, what's left? I guess I can make a resistive heater for when I eventually need that. But I think I'm pretty much just waiting on everything else to finish. Well, I guess I can just go around making everything as fast as possible. Especially a lot of this ore processing. Well, I've spent so long just constantly accelerating as much as I can here that I've run through 90 hours of the time in a bottle. If that's not a bad sign, I don't know what is. But I have managed to clear out this chest, which was very nearly full beforehand. And it looks like most of the redstone's gone through. And most of that redstone was just there to make all the storage components, which are now done. So I can get all of those infinity cells. But, annoyingly, I don't have any time in a bottle left to speed this up. But eventually I can get what I need out of it. Oh, but then I need, I think, 10 ultimate miners? Yeah. I've got 8 here. That's enough for me to get some of these. I should probably still leave the sand and clay here, because they have other places that they go. So then I need to make 4 more miners. But that's not too bad. It's a little annoying to upgrade them, but it just takes time. So there's those 4 extra miners to make those extra cells. So now I can probably get a Gigatronium ingot. But there's no way I'm crafting it manually. So this might take a while. However, 2 recipes in, I seem to be full. I could probably find some way to figure this out, but I just don't have the time. I have infinite of all of the resources. I can make it. It's just gonna take forever. So I'm just gonna grab a couple of the stuff that I need and move on. Although it's just dawned on me to check this quest line, and there's an infinity cell extractor? Ooh, that's expensive. I don't have the time for this. Oh, but this is still its own annoying process. Yeah, I don't care. I don't have the time for this anymore. Well, that's Gigatronium done. How are the eggs looking? I think it's done. Let me see. Oh, I'm missing 2. Fine, I'll make a bit more chocolate. Give me those end Easter eggs. It might take a while to craft, though. But eventually, I can craft those 3 eggs. But I didn't trigger the quests along the way. It doesn't really matter. So then, all that's left is I'm waiting on the singularities. And how have they gone? I have 3. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I'm just gonna be waiting another, like, 2 or 3 weeks to get the singularities. I've done everything I need to. It's just waiting. And I'm sick of it. I've always hated these bragging rights sections, so I don't care that I'm breaking the integrity of the run at this point. So I'm just gonna keep going. So, how many ultimate ingots do I need? 6 per technium, plus an extra for the nuggets. So, 25 total, plus another 6, 31. So I need 31 ultimate ingots. I make 4 at a time, 32. I should have what I need to do this now. I'll just grab a bunch of every Technium, and... oh, I'm missing basic to make more than this. But I can still get 16 ultimate ingots. With a bit more of the Technium that I'm missing, I can make another 8. I need a bit more elite though. I'll just manually put a bit more gold in to make some more ingots. Then eventually I can get enough Technium to finish off the ultimate ingots. And I can make the Technium machine control block and all of the derivatives of the ingot that I can use to make the final Technium ingot. Also, I have more ingots than I thought. Did I do the maths wrong? Yes. 6 times 3 is 18, not 24. So I made another 6 than I needed. Actually, maybe not. I'll see. But for now, I'll hang up the rest of the ultimate stuff, because I should finally be able to make the Technium ingot. So, I need to place this greater than Y180. The top of my base is 119, higher than I thought. But I still need to go up quite a ways to put this where it needs to be. And I want to just see, what does this multi-block look like? Not as crazy as I thought it would. But I'm still just going to place it this way. Bring the cable across, put the items in, put the fluids in, and the chemicals. Then connect in the heater. Oh, and how much temperature do I need? 1,000? That's not so bad. I'll just do 10,000 FE per tick. That's probably fine. But it doesn't seem to be transferring the heat very well. I feel like it might be a problem with the fact that I'm using a resistive heater, but I don't know if there's any better way for me to get heat. What if I bring this up to 100,000 FE per tick? Still struggling. 1,000,000. That's better. I can't go any higher than 1,000,000. 5,000,000. It's hit 1,000, but I still want to be a bit more comfortable. Let's just go the maximum possible FE per tick. Ooh. Wait, I can't actually support that. I'm gonna go 2.5 million. That's still plenty of temperature. But this isn't gonna work just yet, because I need the right weather condition. I need a thunder module. I'll stick that in, let it trigger, and now it starts crafting, I think. Oh, it did it? Why could I not see it? I just exited the menu and saw 3 final Technium ingots. Okay, I think that's a bit more anticlimactic. Well, there's final Technium. Thought there might have been like a lightning strike or something. I guess I'll have to fake one for the thumbnail then. Anyway, I don't need the thunder anymore. So, with this final Technium, this is how I get the creative stuff. But, with one specific oversight, I only need 3 Technium ingots and I can make everything. Also, thankfully, I've got a bit of extra ultimate ingots, because I need another ultimate gear, so that I can make the final Technium machine frame, and then with this, I can make the creative vending upgrade. So then, if I put this upgrade on a drawer, every item that I put in there, I now have infinite of. So then that's infinite Technium machine frames, so I can get all of these creative things extremely easily. I now no longer need power generation. I have infinite. I no longer need any of the Technium automation. I have infinite of all of them. I can have infinite fluid storage, infinite chemical storage. Although this doesn't retroactively create infinite of the item, the way that the drawers do, but still, infinite storage is pretty powerful. I don't really need it though. So with 3 final Technium, there are no challenges anymore. I have glorified creative mode at my fingertips. So, yeah, there isn't much of a reason to keep going anymore, is there? GG. Oh? 64 final Technium ingots. Don't do this to yourself. I don't think that's very difficult. GG2. There we go. Final Technium completed. And I know I pretty much cheated to get here by cheating in the rest of the singularities, but I've more than done my time. I don't care. These final chapters are always just bragging rights anyway. And this one isn't as egregious as some of them that I've seen, but it still sucks. But it's done now, and that means I have done everything this pack has to offer. And any minor thing that I didn't do along the way, I don't have a reason to go back to it. Unless I arbitrarily want to complete every quest, this is the end. And honestly, until the final Technium tree, this pack has been really, really good. Nothing in particular stands out as especially good about this pack. It's just exceptionally well made. I guess the best way I have to illustrate that is with most packs that do the kind of tech tree sort of stuff, it'll inevitably give you a mod that is way too powerful and just kind of throws all the balance out of whack, or it'll be too scared of doing that, so everything just slows down massively and just kind of stops being fun around the midway point. But that never happened. I was consistently able to get to the next tech tree in about the same time as it took to complete the previous, with the exception of Final Technium. And while I certainly have complaints about this pack, like, for the love of God, give me any logistics other than mechanism. This is so stupidly laggy, please. I really don't have any major gripes as far as, like, the balancing and the tech and all of that goes. It just kind of worked. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about this. Just the entire impression I get out of this pack, now that I'm done with it, I guess just like a really solid 8 out of 10. I really cannot fault it, but there's no particular way that it shines. It's just really solid. Until Final Technium, but that's the exception in basically every pack. Once singularities get involved, all balance integrity is out the window. I've never seen these done cleanly. Which is why normally I don't do them. You could argue I didn't this time, given that I just cheated them in. But enough about that, I really don't care. I guess it could be fun to go over some stats before I go. I didn't know there was a stat for added and extracted to ME storage, but that's not as big as I thought it would be. I guess because most of the extracted items are done with pattern providers. Time played, 5.4 days. I feel like that's wrong. Yeah, that's only 120 hours or so, and I've got much more than that in my time in a bottle. It might reset whenever I update the pack, I don't know, because that sounds about right for AFK time in the past week or so, but I'd be willing to bet I've got maybe about 500 hours? Yeah, it's hard for me to tell anymore. Oh, I guess a fun stat is that I didn't die during this entire series. I guess technically I have died twice, but both of them were accidents involving spectator mode while I was taking screenshots for thumbnails, so I don't know if I count them per se. As far as normal gameplay is concerned, I didn't die. I've used my time in a bottle almost as much as my hammer. That's crazy. Yeah, this is definitely wrong. I've placed more than 214 cables. Yeah, this is just wrong. I'm not sure why the statistics are broken. Probably something to do with updates. But just in case anyone watching wanted to see some of that, there you go. That's it for the pack. I'm not really sure where I'm going to go after this. I have a couple ideas for other packs to play, but as per usual, I'm open to suggestions on that front. But otherwise, yeah, I think I'm done. I've got nothing left to achieve, there's no challenge left here, and I don't think I have anything else to say. So, that's it for the series. Bye.